Hey everybody! Today we're taking a look at Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Now I always referred to this as Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer, but on the box art apparently it is just called Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. It's a very mouthy title. This was part of a series of games that they made off of Episode 1 that all had Star Wars Episode 1 subtitle. There was Battle for Naboo, there was Racer, there's a couple of them like that. So sorry for the SMTP flashes there. The upconversion from the 64 to HDMI, unfortunately that just happens sometimes. Let's jump on into a new racer. Now, if you've never played this game, it's actually a pretty fun racing game. For one thing, whenever you're not just stuck with a specific person. You actually can pick between different pilots. And if you've seen Episode 1, a lot of the different aliens that are in the pod race, you can control. So right from the beginning, I have Anakin. I have Abe. I have Dudbolt. Gasgano. Now I remember that one I remember having that action figure as a kid. Oh, look at that guy. There's Audie. Okay, so that's all I have for now. But as you play through the game and you unlock new courses, you also unlock new racers that you can control. So I'm just going to pick somebody. And let's start with the first race. And this is where it gets really neat. You can actually check out how your vehicle's doing. And it would show you things like what upgrades you have installed. And then specific upgrades will do, let's say that you want to increase the acceleration on how quick the pod racer goes from 0 to speed, or you want to increase your top speed, or how fast it cools down when the engine's overheating. Specific things that you want to change, you can make, so it actually makes for a really, really customizable sort of playing experience. Let's turn the music down a bit, just so it doesn't drown me out so much. Ooh, high res. I can imagine what non-high res looks like on the N64. Alright, let's go to start race. Lovingly presented to us in N64 graphics.
The current record holder for this track is Neither Key.
I haven't played this game in a long time, so I'm relying on muscle memory. And also hoping the lag isn't too bad as it plays through it. But since you can control different racers that you have, and by selecting different racers you have different pod racers, and the pods are completely customizable, you may have a favorite character, but because of the parts that you put on their ship, it totally changes how their ship handles, like how fast their ship goes, and everything else. Oh, it comes to the little tiny exit. Ooh, I made it. I honestly can't remember the last time I booted up this game. The nice thing about it, though, is in case you do collect N64 games or haven't played it before, this game was so common it's actually pretty cheap to pick up. And also, in case you don't have an N64, I believe it's on the Switch Marketplace as well. So in case you want to give it a shot, it's not an expensive game by any means, but it is a lot of fun. And I don't actually play a lot of racing games, and just in general, I'm not very good at them. But I like this one because of the modular aspect to it. You can really kind of turn it into like whatever type of like racer that you want. If you're like terrible at handling, for instance, you can upgrade your control. Or if you're great at handling, but you want to be able to just floor it and go for top speed, you can make that your focus. So you really get a lot of customization with it. there's other advanced controls, like if I hold forward, I can actually engage that turbo, like if it fills up on the right, but it... yeah, I'm still trying to learn the controls, so maybe I shouldn't try to do any advanced moves just yet. See if I can do it again this time, without blowing up. Yeah, see, every time I do it, I lose a little bit of control. Pull it off one time, come on. Just gotta hold forward and not go off the track. There we go. So as that meter filled up, then I pressed A again, but if you hold it for too long, you can actually overheat your engines and then they'll explode, similar to whenever you crash into a wall. So there's a little more to it than just, you know, racing toward the end. Not to mention, this is a very simple track because it's just the first one in the game. It's based off of the scene in the movie. There's a version of this map later that's even more like the track in the movie, with some of the more difficult areas, like the caves where you're trying to get around the columns of stone and whatnot. But this is a very simple, basic level. And as the other levels become more advanced, there are also hidden tracks and shortcuts and different things that you can do. So the nice thing about winning the races, though, is you can actually go to the shop. If I can remember how to do that. If I go to the race... oh, here we go. Buy parts.
Ah, welcome to Watto's shop, huh? Take a look around. I got everything you need, huh?
So I can look at it and remember I won money from that last race, so now I can buy upgrades to specifically... So for me, for instance, if I wanted to upgrade my turning ability, I could buy this. Now, there's also the junkyard.
Look around. I got a lot of junk.
I can't quite afford that one.
Outlanders. They come here. How do they find me? They come here. They mess up my store. Hey!
Yeah, that's the only one I'm really interested in, and I can't afford it. So let's go back inside.
Change your mind?
I definitely want to upgrade my turning. So let's put this part on. And so now my stats have increased there. Now my top speed's not very high, so if I decided I wanted to include that... and now my pod is a little bit more balanced. So let's try race. Let's try race number 2.
The current record holder for this track is Lever Key.
And just like in Mario Kart, if you start at just the right time, you can get a boost there. Oh no, I hit first person perspective. Ah! Yeah, if you push up C, you can change the perspective and give yourself a POV on the pod. Not skilled enough to pull that off though. Also, you'll notice whenever you bump into walls, depending on how hard you hit it, you'll either damage or you can just cause your engine to actually explode. One of the things you can buy is those little pod repair robots. If you remember in episode 1... oh look, I'm about to lap these guys. In episode 1 you saw them kind of working on the pods before the race started. And the more of those you have, the better they help repair your ship. Final lap. See how the front left pod has got more damage, that's why it's red. So if I bump on the left side and the front again, it'll probably catch on fire. So again, very, very simple. But look, I just unlocked a new person. Look, Timpo. So again, I can go check out the junkyard.
You'll not find a better deal anywhere, I think, huh?
Wow, look how much this thing increases top speed. It costs 10,000. I don't remember exactly why you would prefer junkyard over the buy parts. Maybe you just get a better deal on the junkyard parts, but it like randomizes which items are available. But I always remember checking junkyard as well. Alright, we'll try one more race, see if we can win it. Cheska sa boba. Try going between those rocks if you're feeling brave. Oh gosh. No traction. No, no. Yeah, trying to control on that ice was difficult. Uh-oh. Kaboom! Well, I've almost made it to the end of the first track. Yeah, I am definitely showing my rust here. There are other buttons I keep trying to press to figure out what... Like one of them, there's a repair button. That's just brakes. If I hold down on C, I can look behind me. Don't go off the bridge. Here comes the ice again. We need greasy, fast speed. Yeah, see, some of them you can hit and some of them you can't. Stop favoring the left side. Now, I've crashed quite a bit, but I'm not driving very cautiously. I'm just kind of flooring it the whole time, which is probably why I keep exploding when I bump into walls, because of how fast I'm going. But if I can maintain enough distance between me and the other racers, then I can pretty easily win. But again, these are just the first couple of tracks, so this is the easiest the game gets. And some of the later tracks, if you crash, you've pretty much given up the race. So it does have a really nice learning curve, though. And if racing games are not your go-to, they're not for me either, but this game is still a lot of fun. The Star Wars characters are still a lot of fun, and even these pod racers, which I know basically nothing about other than seeing glimpses of them in the movies and experiencing controlling them in the game, still fun to kind of hear their alien languages and control their ships. And the idea that, unlike with, say, Mario Kart, maybe you really like the look of Bowser's kart, but you just hate the way he handles. With a game like this, you could take any pod racer that you like and then modify their pod to control or handle or have the skills and stats that best mesh with you. So it makes for a lot of customizable experience. Probably the thing that's the most fun about this, though, is the local co-op. Like, just for hours and hours playing with friends, on a split screen, which it already can get kind of hard to keep up with where you're going when you have the full screen, so you can imagine how chaotic it gets, especially on some of the more difficult maps with two-player players. And it gradually got worse as that went on, but oh well, still got it. So unlocked a new person, and again, as you keep playing, you unlock new people, you unlock new maps, and it becomes more and more fun, especially once you get better at controlling the game and as the difficulty's ramping up. But if you haven't checked it out, looking for a good N64 game that's not very expensive, I highly recommend this one. And again, I believe it's also available on the Switch, and maybe even the PS4. I'd have to look at the marketplace. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one.